It is a six-match Saturday in USL League One, and the two hottest sides in the competition clash in Windsor, Colorado. It's Northern Colorado Hailstorm hosting Union Omaha at the Future Legends Complex on ESPN+. A pleasant good evening to you. Sam Goldfarb here, thrilled to bring you all the action tonight from Windsor. Here's a look at the USL League One standings at this current moment. Northern Colorado in second. A win tonight could push them to top of the table for the second time this week. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, they've won their last three matches. They're just 3 points beneath the playoff cut line. A win tonight could allow them to establish a playoff foothold. Hailstorm had the league's best attack, and Arthur Rogers is the key cog in the machine. He's our player to watch tonight. He tied a league record in single-game assists Tuesday night in that 4-2 victory over Knoxville. He was absolutely sensational. He now leads USL League One in assists and chances created. He's one of the best creative players the league has to offer. Meanwhile, while Northern Colorado has the league's top scorer, Noe Meza is only 3 goals behind in second with 9. He's got 4 in his last 5 matches. He scored in the last 2 contests, including that game winner in the 49th minute against Richmond Kickers last weekend. He's absolutely terrific. He's a center back's nightmare, according to Breck Evans, somebody who's going to be really tough to stop up front. Just about set for kickoff here in Windsor, Colorado. Northern Colorado Hailstorms unbeaten in their last 10. Union Omaha unbeaten in their last 5. Both streaks on the line when we return on ESPN+. Stick with us. We've got a good one tonight.
Welcome. I'm Jason Olskard. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskard team, powered by C3 Real Estate Solutions.
We are proud to partner with Future Legends to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are and the exceptional value that every client will experience when working with us.
If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule a time to meet with us.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee owned, community minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
It's a new day, Northern Colorado, and we're set to seize it. More than that, we're out to dent the old standard and set the gold standard. Today is about resilience. That's something our squad has shown and continues to show. Today is about growth. That's a trait this team and this town have seen and continue to see. All this time, the focus has been on our community's legendary future. But today, it dawned on us. The future is now. Are we building something special? Hell yeah, we are.
Back here from the Future Legends Complex in Windsor, Colorado, as a pair of sides riding major unbeaten runs face off. It's Northern Colorado Hailstorm and Union Omaha on ESPN+. Here is your look at the starting lineup. Starting with the home side, Ayman Zayed lines up in a new formation, 3-5-2. Trevor Ammon is the man leading the line. He's the leading goal scorer in USL League One with 12. He's been on a red-hot tear. And, of course, the man we spotlighted off the top, Arthur Rogers, in his usual right back, right wing back setup. He and Bruno Rendon are probably going to flip-flop over the course of the 90. Those two are terrific charging forward. No major changes other than the back line. 2 fullbacks by trade there. Meanwhile, for the visitors, the traditional 4-2-3-1 for Dominic Casciato's side. Not too many changes with the exception of one absence. Joe Gallardo picked up a yellow card in the late stages of that first half in that match against Richmond Kickers. So Steven Dos Santos, who scored a brace, slots up top, and Joe Brito and Noe Meza move to the flanks. Of course, pulling the strings, as per usual, Luis Heel in that center attacking mid position. And one big change between the sticks as well, Ian McGrain making his first start in place of Rashid Nuhu. So an interesting alignment there, as that's the first time we don't see Nuhu in the 11 for Union Omaha, getting a nice rest period, not listed on the injury report by any stretch of the imagination. And just about set to get underway here from Windsor. Union Omaha is in the white and gold kits, going from left to right. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado in their fancy-looking third kits, going right to left. That's going to be in black and gold. Underway here from Windsor, a pair of extremely hot sides clashing. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Sam Goldfarb here, taking you through every step of the way. It's the Northern Colorado side unbeaten in its last 10 matches. 7 of those have been wins, including a 4-2 victory at 1 Knoxville Tuesday night. Meanwhile, for Union Omaha, they were in a 7-match winless rut. They've responded with 3 consecutive victories. Rogers plays back to Rendon. A pair of fullbacks that have charged forward with reckless abandon all year. And here's Breck Evans, the young 23-year-old center back. This Northern Colorado side boasts the league's best attack, but not necessarily known for possession. They've completed the least passes in all of USL League One. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, they love to press and counter-press and monopolize the ball. So it makes for an intriguing contest here tonight. There's your first look at the 23-year-old Cuban, Bruno Rendon. Fresh off a 2-goal, 1-assist performance Tuesday night at Knoxville. Scored both goals from free kick situations after terrific deliveries from Arthur Rogers. Those were 2 of his record-tying 3 assists. Here's Enoch Kwakwa, the former Manchester City man. Now Dietrich takes some heavy contact from Dion Akoff. Seems like an early telling off from the official. The lead man tonight, Servando Berna, William Aten, Marcelo Soto, and Patricia McCracken are the other 3 officials on that squad tonight. As you see another look at that whistle. For Omaha, it's been a more turbulent season than Northern Colorado. The second least losses in the league, only behind the Hailstorm. They went through that 7-match winless rut we alluded to earlier. We're at one point well beneath the playoff cut line in terms of positioning. They've since won 3 straight, including that 4-1 victory over Richmond. And they find themselves right back in the thick of the playoff chase in Dom Casciato's first season. Set piece here early on for Omaha. Delivered to the back stick, and Delgado gets a touch to it. And that'll exit for our first Meadow Gold corner kick of the night. Corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold. It's the first set piece opportunity for either squad. Will be Connor Doyle, the 31-year-old defensive midfielder, to deliver. Outswinger heads to the back stick, and Delgado had it covered. Decent outswinging delivery. Looks like perhaps Suwahi got his head to it. And Delgado may have run into the post there. One of the league's top Golden Glove leaders back to his feet. A welcome sight for Hailstorm faithful. So much is made of this elite Northern Colorado attack, and rightfully so, but defensively quite sound as well. The joint least goals conceded so far in USL League One. Here's Ammon's first touch and loses out to Akoff. And admittedly, it has been spotty, but the numbers Delgado has put up speaks for themselves. 41 saves at a very efficient clip. Second in USL League One in clean sheets as well. When the goals come against the Hailstorm, they occasionally come in waves, but they don't come often. Ball played forward, and Suwahi breaks up the action. Now the front man, Dos Santos. And Rendon has some room to pull the strings. Overcast night in Windsor tonight. Saw some clouds earlier. Fortunately, they've held off. It's a Hailstorm side that has dealt with their fair share of weather delays over the course of this year. Had one match postponed as well earlier last month. Ball played forward for Meza, and no real issues for Delgado. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Inside the opening 10 minutes here at the Future Legends Complex. Still no score between two of the hottest sides in the league. Dos Santos will look through for Meza, and Mole sits a little in front of him that time.
Your man is up his hole. Look at the space.
Hearing Ayman Zayed shout tactical instructions for his bunch. In his second year at the helm of this Northern Colorado side. It's his first head coaching gig, just 39 years of age, was 37 when he took the job. And Northern Colorado announced their first head coach in August of 2021. Very accomplished player in his own right, scored over 100 goals in Ireland before moving to the States. Was the PFAI Young Player of the Year in 2003 and also earned Player of the Year honors 8 seasons later. Tussle there between Brito and Rendon, and the latter draws the whistle.
James. Why are you trying to square balls?
Coach Zayed, when asked about his side, says he's most impressed by how they never give up, regardless of the scoreline. And he said that spirit was evident the first time these two teams met this season. It was a 3-2 victory for Union Omaha in their season debut at Werner Park. But that was a match in which Omaha went up 3-0. Stefan Lukic picked up a second yellow just 15 minutes into the match, and they fell behind pretty fast, but a Trevor Ammon second half brace allowed them to pull within one late. He said that was the prime example of his side's resilience, and they flashed that all year. Big reason why they've gone 10 unbeaten entering tonight. Oprah looks back for Dietrich, who will win a set piece. And the Hailstorm with their first enticing free kick of the night. Arthur Rogers was lethal from these scenarios a few weeks ago. On Tuesday night, 2 of his 3 assists came from set pieces. Takes a deflection. I believe. That yellow may go against Northern Colorado. We'll get official word on that in a moment. And we'll retake this free kick. So the Omaha bench clearly displeased, and I think the yellow card is going to go to Joe Brito for moving off his line. Heard the Omaha coaching staff pleading their cases. Either way, we'll run this right back, and our first man in the book tonight for either side comes just 11 minutes in. Rogers' delivery is a good one. And McGrain pounces on it before the black shirts descend.
He's got one bad one out of his system now, yeah? Hopefully it gets a bit better than that.
McGrain making his first start this season between the sticks for Union Omaha. It's his first appearance with the club. Made 7 apps last season in MLS Next Pro with St. Louis City SC second team. He's also been a member of Tampa Bay Rowdies as a reserve keeper in the USL Championship. 27 years old, but he's been a part of some winning clubs over the course of his young career. Here's King. 29-year-old Scotsman. And looking long for Ammon. Flag stays down, and now it raises. Still looking to build his way into the match is the league's top scorer. Trevor Ammon's just taken such a massive leap forward for Northern Colorado this year. Had just 5 goals a season ago, and Coach Zayed said he felt Ammon was too casual a finisher. Here's the cross from Akoff, and Delgado had some work to do. Took a whack in the process as well. But when speaking to Coach Zayed about Trevor Ammon. He talks about how he's got that killer streak more in front of goal. He's finishing with more aplomb, and he was always getting himself in a good position, so that wasn't the issue. Now looking to provide him service once more. Here's Dietrich. Just a bit long for Rogers that time. Seems like both sides trying to readjust. For Union Omaha, they play on a narrow pitch at Warner Park, and they've just started to get accustomed to that after their first couple home matches of the season were played at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Seems like somewhat similar pitch dimensions. Of course, this facility shared between Northern Colorado Hailstorm and the Northern Colorado Owls. That is Owls with a Z, by the way. A lovely facility that opened about a month and a half ago against Central Valley Fuego on May 27th. Here's Rendon. One of the paciest full field fullbacks in all of USL League One, and loses out that time to Meza. Plays it wide well. And now looking for Luis Heel. Sides just trying to find that opening in the opposing back line. Akoff. And Heel surveys for options. Dos Santos has some support. Cross comes in. Just no white shirts there to get a touch to it. US Foods is the official food supply partner of Future Legends Complex and Hailstorm FC. A little over a quarter of an hour gone here from Windsor, Colorado. A cagier affair than many would have expected coming in. These are two of the best attacking outfits in the entire league, as Rogers' touch draws half-hearted handball appeals from the visitors. Rendon and company unfazed. I mentioned Northern Colorado's goal-scoring prowess, but Omaha now tied for third in the league in goals themselves. Especially Omaha, during that winless rut, had defensive deficiencies of their own. They've tightened things up lately. These are two sides used to playing open matches. Northern Colorado playing their fourth in the last 11, even with squad rotation. It's got to be hard to remain switched on the entire 90. Here's your look at the Connecticut native Joe Brito in his second year with the club, a product of UNC Charlotte. He's broken into the 11 lately for Los Bujos and assisted a goal on last Saturday against Richmond. Another one of those young creative attackers for Omaha, who's pretty versatile himself. Rendon streaks down the far side. The cross pings out to Heel. Now looking for Akoff on the break. He's got space. Right now, both sides just struggling to string together passes in the final third. Rendon looks to change that. Through for Ammon. Trevor Ammon. Beginning to find him in open spaces, but so far that Omaha back four has done a great job to minimize his opportunities. Fans, US Food is the official food supply partner of Future Legends Complex and Hailstorm FC. So 20 minutes gone as we approach the midway stages of this first half. And coming in, so much conversation was made about the attack. That man on your screen, Trevor Ammon, leading the league in goals, spotlighted Noe Meza off the top. But neither of those players have worked their way into this one in the young stages of this one. Also hearing word there was an issue with the balls throughout this game. They weren't pumped up enough. Thought Deflategate was a thing in 2015, but 8 years later, different football, similar concern. And perhaps a reason why the match has been a little cagey, both sides struggling to build through the center of the park. Now a few more pockets of space emerging for both these sides. Here's Billy King for Ammon, who's slowly beginning to get some more touches on it. And Enoch Kwakwa. You'd figure this type of match would likely favor Omaha. Not known for its defensive prowess, but anytime Trevor Ammon's being forced out wide like you see here, certainly won't be complaining. So he'll draw the offside flag with that run. For Union Omaha entering tonight, of course, just 3 points off playoff pace. They were behind Greenville on a tiebreaker at the start of the day. Coach Casciato says not a lot has changed about their play. He says he felt they were playing well in a lot of those matches where they had to settle for draws. They just didn't quite finish in key moments or lock things down in the final stages. He says now things are breaking their way, and it was something Coach Zayed actually expected coming into the night. He said, from my interpretation of the last match, which admittedly is to some degree tarnished by the fact that Northern Colorado played with 10 men, I don't think that Omaha is a side that strays from their principles. And it's always been a big goal of Coach Casciato to make it pretty clear how they want to play and pretty entertaining as well. It's the high press, it's the heavy possession. Coach Casciato has stuck to his principles and been rewarded of late as a club that in its young history has dominated USL League One, continues its push back to where they feel they belong in the playoff places. King's got some room on the break, and he's got options ahead. Ammon has it, flag stays down, working on Akoff, and it'll trickle out for Northern Colorado's first corner of the night. Corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold. So Arthur Rogers gets his first opportunity to whip in a set-piece delivery from the corner flag. And the in-swinging ball always seems to be the former Hartford man's specialty. Low cross, cleared only as far as Rendon. And harmlessly out for a throw. Hailstorm FC and future legends print with the pros at Color Pro Printing of Fort Collins. They make your vision a reality. Check them out at colorproprint.com. Hailstorm FC also have a penchant for kit design, as you see them wearing their spiffy third kits tonight, the black and gold. They're unveiling their fourth kit next week as well in their match against Richmond Kickers at Future Legends. Part of a stretch of 4 home matches in 5 games at the Future Legends complex, and that'll certainly bode well for a side already riding a club record unbeaten run. Here's Milanese. Skeers. Although Delgado has not been the busiest man on the pitch tonight, it's a Northern Colorado side that's done a pretty solid job lately minimizing chances on his goal. He's been forced into just 3 saves in each of the last 2 games. When you look at his history, he kept 3 straight clean sheets on multiple occasions, including throughout the month of June. He was forced into just 6 saves from June 7th to June 24th. Dos Santos looking to draw his attention here, and snuffed out with considerable aplomb. Kwakwa for Oprah. One of the top chance creators outside of Rogers. Kwakwa looks long, ball for Sabea, and narrowly misses the far post with his header. Hailstorm trying to carve out that space on the flanks. It was a huge emphasis coming into the year for Ayman Zayed. Really good long ball from Kwakwa there. Sabea just got underneath it, couldn't quite place it perfectly. Perhaps the biggest half chance for either side so far. Entering the year, the wide play was a massive concern for Northern Colorado. It was one of the biggest focal points in the offseason from a personnel standpoint. They brought in Lucky Oprah and Bruno Rendon. Outside of Arthur Rogers, didn't have a lot of creative players on the flanks. They've addressed that very well, and it's a big reason why Oprah and Rendon feature so much going forward. You have a presence like Ammon in the middle. The ability to stretch the flanks is absolutely crucial to open up some space in the channels. King surges toward Akoff. And Rogers. Some men in black in the box. Ball goes all the way through for King. How about that work by Connor Doyle just to get his body in the way? Right at the half-hour mark, and the Hailstorm starting to knock on the door. Corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold. So Rogers will get another chance for some crossing practice here. As black shirts load the area. Taken short for King. Now Rogers. Low delivery trickles through. Looking for Oprah. And Norte sprays it over the goal. I think both coaches will be hoping for a little more cutting edge in the final third as we approach the closing stages of this first half. Not a lot of space for either side, really, to whip in crosses, and a narrow pitch will certainly do that to you. Akoff. Player was slid into that right back role in place of Shaft Brewer Jr. the last few weeks. Union Omaha's started to settle on their preferred back line with an emphasis on defending. They've put Milanese in that left back role, opted for the more defensive-minded Akoff on the opposite flank. Confident in their pieces in the attacking third, and it's paid dividends for them these last few weeks. Looking long for Ammon. And Swahi sends things the opposite direction. When you take a look at the anatomy of this Union Omaha season, it's certainly been one of ups and downs. We mentioned the winless rut. This is an Omaha side that logged just 2 wins in their first 12 matches. They don't lose many games, but they'd struggled to get 3 points. Now that is turning around. Here tonight, I'm sure they'll be happy with anything as that cross comes through for Norte and sails out of play harmlessly for a goal kick. This Omaha side had been through major struggles, and for a club that in its very young history has been extremely competitive, that certainly wasn't desired. They made the playoffs in all 3 years of their existence, made the USL League One finals in each of their first 2 campaigns, including a title in 2021. That simply wasn't the standard. Now they're starting to look more like traditional Omaha sides we're used to seeing. Meanwhile, in Northern Colorado, they're just trying to define the tenets of their club. They missed the playoffs narrowly last season in their inaugural campaign. Now they finally found a permanent home venue and starting to establish their desired band of personnel. It's looked fearsome these last couple months. Meza for Skiers. Now Dos Santos, the 33-year-old. Akoff creating width. Still unable to ping a threatening cross into the box, though. Approaching the business end of this first half. Still no major chances either way. Aside from a couple set-piece half chances, haven't seen much. Meza shoved on the edge of the area, and whistle goes against him. As Oprah is tended to. Enoch Kwakwa, the man down at the moment for the Hailstorm. Kwakwa, 29 years of age, one of the older players on this Hailstorm squad. Tonight, no member of the Northern Colorado 11 is north of 30 years old. Nobody's on the wrong side of 30, period. Everyone is 29 or younger. The back line consists of a trio of 23-year-olds. This squad has brought back a good chunk of last season's key contributors, and even despite the absence of Irvin Parra for the bulk of this year, they've managed to wreak havoc in the final third, especially over the course of this recent stretch. Press intensifies for the home side. Skiers looks forward for Meza. King has some room on the wing. Here's Billy King. Now Ammon to the touchline. Still unable to find any black shirts in the box. Meza. Heel under pressure, and Ammon carries it free. Trevor Ammon, and he finds the back of the net. That is absolutely sensational from the Golden Boot leader. An Ammon firecracker, and Northern Colorado strikes first.
Hailstorm goal scored by number 9.
13th of the year, and a goal in the 4th consecutive match for Trevor Ammon. You see, just picking up the loose change, takes a deflection. He won't complain, as the USL League One's top scorer conjures a stunner. Well, I don't think anything about that finish was casual. And Eamon Zayed will certainly be pleased with another goal from his star striker. It was a match where it just felt like neither side was able to really threaten the opposing goal. Every time one of these squads progressed into the final third, it was largely crickets. Trevor Ammon blows the door open with an emphatic strike from long range. Just 25 years old in his second professional campaign. He looks mature beyond his years for the league leaders. Dietrich looks for King. And Omaha will look for the immediate reply. Becker Safety and Supply has you covered from head to toe. They provide industry-leading products and services to help keep you safe. Located in Windsor and Greeley and online at beckersafety.com. Well, after a quiet opening 35 minutes or so, Trevor Ammon completely changes the trajectory of this first half with one strike in the 39th. A 25-yard firecracker to give the Hailstorm advantage on the stroke of halftime. Here's Milanese, the 24-year-old. Los Bujos just struggling to find any window for crosses into the box. It's been a masterclass of fullback play from Rendon and Oprah so far. Cross comes to the heart of the area, and Delgado has to deal with it. Suddenly, Omaha starting to twist the screws a bit more. The goal scorer, Ammon. And the Hailstorm can clear their lines. If you're just joining us, this was a quiet first half. Not much going on for either side going forward. Game largely played between the 8 teams. And then Trevor Ammon happened. Picked up a loose ball after the press yielded a giveaway and launched it from about 25 yards into the back of the net to give the home side the lead as they hunt their 11th straight match unbeaten. It's a run that may have appeared unlikely in the early stages of the season. But Northern Colorado's been a buzzsaw in the final third, and so many different ways they can score goals. First half that maybe hasn't gone perfectly according to plan for Ayman Zayed. They still hold the lead as we approach the break. Here's Ammon. Plays wide for Rendon. Rendon's cross looking for Sabea and overhits him just a bit. Now Dietrich's delivery. Cleared only as far as Kwakwa. Hearing word it'll be 2 minutes of added time to conclude this first half. Meza dragged down, and Omaha will have at least one more set piece to test this Hailstorm back line before the break. Ayman Zayed expresses his displeasure. Connor Doyle will stand over it, the former Derby County and MLS man. Played for Colorado Rapids in the mid to late 2010s. Pings this to the back post. It's over the head of everyone and out for a goal kick that may just wrap up proceedings in this opening 45. Perhaps time for one more attack for Omaha before the break. Here's Akoff. Looking long for Meza, who's been a quiet figure to say the least for the visitors tonight. They've been unable to get him any service and space. Whistle sounds, and that does it for the opening 45. A quiet first half, but one moment of Trevor Ammon brilliance separates these two squads after one half of play. At intermission, it's 1-0 Northern Colorado in a battle between two of the hottest sides in USL League One. We're going to step aside here on ESPN+. Northern Colorado holding a 1-0 advantage after 45. Trevor Ammon making the difference for the home side here at the Future Legends Complex. We'll step aside when we return. Some halftime stats and analysis here on ESPN+.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee owned, community minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
Welcome. I'm Jason Olskard. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskard team powered by C3 Real Estate Solutions.
We are proud to partner with Future Legends to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are and the exceptional value that every client will experience when working with us.
If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule a time to meet with us.
Halftime here in Windsor, Colorado. It's a 1-0 Northern Colorado advantage off the back of Trevor Ammon's 39th minute strike. It was a busy midweek in USL League One. Let's take a look at Tuesday's highlights between Northern Colorado and One Knoxville.
We got some League One on a Tuesday, kind of a rare occurrence. We're going to have it happen this next week too, though, so another blessing onto your watching endeavors. It was Northern Colorado against One Knoxville. In the 8th minute, you saw that beautiful pass from Arthur Rogers to Trevor Ammon. And oh look, another wonderful pass from Arthur Rogers, this time to Bruno Rendon in the 20th minute to give the Hailstorm a 2-0 lead early on in the game. But then in the 34th minute, this cross from Thomas and the diving header of Angelo Kelly getting his first goal with One Knoxville, although at a price you see there, colliding with his teammate Ilya Illich. And if this looks familiar, it's not the same goal, but it's a very familiar and similar looking goal to the one scored earlier. Rogers to Rendon, 3 hat tricks on the day for Arthur Rogers. Keep note on that, we're gonna talk more about that later. But there would be another response, and it would be another Angelo Kelly goal. Doesn't look like he hasn't scored all season with an effort like that. Also doesn't look like he got hit in the face earlier in the game. What an effort from him. But later in the match, 90th minute, Billy King said, enough. This game is done. 3 points on the road for the Hailstorm, winning the match 4-2. Ayman Zayed's side, with just 14 games, are sitting atop the table coming into the weekend. And Arthur Rogers is just the 5th player in League One history to rack up 3 assists. Let's go look at the first player to get 3 assists in a League One game all the way back in 2019. Connor Antley in a 3-1 victory over Tucson back in 2019. This is the only game that we're going to highlight here where all 3 goals were assisted by Antley in the match. There were no extra goals by Tormenta in the affair. Also, Connor Antley, the only player to get all 3 of his assists in the second half. He assisted Lucas Coutinho, Alex Morel, and Marco Micheletto. As we pivot over to the second time a player had 3 assists in a single game, Ricky Ruiz on the road at Wake Med Soccer Park. One of the several times that the Chattanooga Red Wolves just styled on North Carolina FC early on in North Carolina FC's tenure in USL League One. You see some of the wonderful assists he puts up on a plate, including this one put in by Jonathan Ricketts. He also assisted Marky Hernandez and Jackson Dietrich in that game. Ricky Ruiz is now playing with RGV in USL Championship. This is a familiar face in League One this season. Devin Boyce, of course, wearing a different jersey. This is the only venue in all of USL League One to see 2 separate 3-assist matches, Irk Russell Park. This one, though, Tormenta fans will be a little bit less excited about. Devin Boyce helping Union Omaha to a 4-0 victory. Kind of nice we can get assists after shots like that. And then this one, for number 3, not only the 3rd assist of the game for Boyce, but also the 3rd goal of the game for Evan Conway, getting a hat trick in that match. Conway now with the San Diego Loyal. As we get to the last time we had a 3-assist game before this last Tuesday, Jonathan Bolaños last season against the Independents. Man, he was an assist master last season for the Richmond Kickers. He assisted Ethan Bryant, Matthew Bentley, and Ethan Bryant, the only player to get all 3 of his assists in the first half of a USL League One game. Jonathan Bolaños now with Huntsville City FC. All these players who have been able to accomplish that wonderful accomplishment in USL League One. We're going to step aside for a moment.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here on ESPN Plus from Windsor, Colorado, a 1-0 advantage for Northern Colorado Hailstorm over the visiting Union Omaha side. It's been a cagey affair, but one in which the home side has the upper hand. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around USL League One. Matt Glazer was named Coach of the Month for June after Ford Madison posted a league best 12 points. They're now competing with the Hailstorm for top of the table. Meanwhile, Emiliano Terzaghi, the 3-time league MVP, has begun to hit his stride, was responsible for all 5 of Richmond goals in June. He is the player of the month. And of course, the player of the week, Trevor Ammon. He had 3 goals across 2 games last week, including a brace to allow Northern Colorado to come from behind against Charlotte Independence. Here's your look at the team of the week, of course, headlined by Ammon. A lot of Union Omaha players here as well. Steven Dos Santos pops, as does JP Skeers, and then Rashid Nuhu, after a couple clean sheets, is there as well. It's one just dominated by these two sides with a decent Charlotte contingent as well. Here's your look at the upcoming schedule here in USL League One. Tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 Mountain Time, you'll see Central Valley Fuego and Lexington SC, a pair of relative newcomers squaring off. And then as we look at the week ahead, Union Omaha will travel to Knoxville on July 18th and also travel to Lexington. So a pair of road tilts for them. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado, some well-deserved time off. They're wrapping up a 4-match in 11-day stretch. So it's certainly been a busy period for the Hailstorm right now. We mentioned off the top it was a busy night in USL League One. There were 6 matches tonight. Here's a look at some of the matches that have finished. North Carolina FC came from behind and drew Ford Madison in that battle for top of the table. So if Northern Colorado wins or gets a draw tonight, they will reclaim the top spot. looks like we got a really entertaining one in Statesboro as well. A 4-2 victory for the defending champs over the reigning runners-up. Two sides looking to boost their fortunes a little bit, both beneath the playoff cut line after excelling last year. Then, of course, a 2-2 draw, Richmond and Charlotte, a pair of sides in that top 6, sharing the spoils at City Stadium. That's all we have for you on the news and notes tonight. We're going to step aside here on ESPN Plus when we return some highlights from that first half.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee owned, community minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
It's a new day, Northern Colorado, and we're set to seize it. More than that, we're out to dent the old standard and set the gold standard. Today is about resilience. That's something our squad has shown and continues to show. Today is about growth. That's a trait this team and this town have seen and continue to see. All this time, the focus has been on our community's legendary future. But today, it dawned on us. The future is now. Are we building something special? Hell yeah, we are.
Back here on ESPN Plus, let's take a look at the first half highlights between two sides that entered tonight red hot in USL League One. It started with this long ball delivery. Valentin Sabea gets underneath it, but unable to put it on target. This was probably the biggest half chance of the match in the early stages of the opening 45 for Northern Colorado, but they eventually got their goal in the 39th minute through Trevor Ammon. His giveaway from Luis Heel found its way right to the USL League One's top scorer. He did the rest. A sensational finish to give Northern Colorado Hailstorm the lead. A magic act from the league's top goal scorer to break the deadlock late. That was the two standout moments of the first half, and that's where we stand after 45 minutes. Here's your look at the match stats so far. Northern Colorado with a slight edge possession-wise. Also have taken 3 more shots, but Union Omaha actually with the edge on shots on target. Neither of those two, though, really tested Lalo Delgado between the sticks. In terms of discipline, which was a big point of emphasis for Dominic Casciato after the red card drama last week, only 1 yellow card either way. It came early on against Joe Brito. Other than that, pretty clean match. The whistles have gone pretty much without hesitation from the lead official, and I think the players are responding accordingly. Back here at the Future Legends Complex in Windsor, just about set for the start of the second half. The Hailstorm, the league leaders with a 1-0 lead over visiting Union Omaha tonight. And right now, as things stand, Northern Colorado would go top as long as they secure anything from this game. So be it a win or a draw, they're going to be top of the league at the end of the night. No changes either way as we get set for the final 45 minutes here from Windsor. We mentioned this a few times, but it was a cagey affair throughout the bulk of the first 45 minutes. Meza looking to give Omaha a quick start. Here is Meza, near post and no issue for Delgado. It was a quiet first half for Noe Meza, player who entered tonight with goals in each of the last 2 contests, 4 in his last 5. But hardly got any touches in space. You got to give credit to the work of Bruno Rendon, especially on that right flank. Got forward and back really quickly and didn't allow Meza any real estate. And outside of the big standout moment for Trevor Ammon, which of course is going to dominate the highlights from those first 45 minutes, not much for him either. Was forced wide, had to come deep to claim the ball, drew the offside flag a fair few times as well. It wasn't a highlight 45 minutes from him, but came up with the big highlight moment, and that's what separates these 2 squads. Here's Akoff, probably the most involved of all of the Omaha players in build-up in that first half. Seemed to be targeting Oprah and company on that left flank, but it hasn't paid dividends yet. Meza. Cleared only as far as Mastrantonio. And King looking for Ammon, and the flag comes up. If you're just joining us tonight, we'd like to thank you for tuning in here on ESPN+. Sam Goldfarb here, bringing you all the action as Northern Colorado looks to continue a headline campaign and remain top of the table for the 2nd consecutive match. It would be monumental. It would be their 8th win in the last 11 games. It'd also be top with multiple games in hand on North Carolina and Madison. Here's Sabea. And Connor Doyle. For Heel. Another one of those key Omaha playmakers still looking to make his imprint on this match. Skiers. Wide for Mastrantonio. Omaha still trying to find avenues through the channels. Statement of intent to begin this second half. Akoff bundled over by what looks to be Oprah. And it'll be Kwakwa who actually draws the ire of the official, but either way, a free kick for the visitors to begin this second half. You see good interplay. Kwakwa caught behind the ball and has nothing else to do but stick a foot out. And Kwakwa will be the first Northern Colorado man in the book, for the first Northern Colorado man in the book for the home side. Meza stands over this set piece. Certainly won't hesitate to let it rip from here. This is a very enticing position. Doyle also in the vicinity. Meza takes it, delivers it right into the wall. And Mastro Antonio with too heavy a touch. A frustrating night for Union Omaha in the final third to this point. Still haven't found the key to unlock this back three for Northern Colorado. Sabela. Now Ammon, the goal scorer. Rogers. Seems to have adopted that right center back role tonight. He's freed up Rendon to charge a bit further forward. Given Rendon's aggression, perhaps that's the right choice. Rendon can be a little too quick to dive into a challenge sometimes, but that certainly will pay dividends more on the flanks than it would be in the penalty area. Meza going to work on Rendon. And throw for the hosts. Breck Evans under a bit of pressure and forced to give it away. Omaha monopolizing the ball in the early stages of this second half. This is Brito. Now Skeers. Scored the opener last week against Richmond Kickers. Brito. Meza unable to link with Dos Santos. And Oprah lets it roll for a goal kick. Fans, Loveland Laser Tag has the biggest laser tag arena on the Front Range. Plus, they serve delicious food, draft beer, and unlimited fun every day. Come eat, play, and tag at LLT, Northern Colorado's premier entertainment center. Sounds like a great event to do on a Saturday afternoon before watching your beloved Hailstorm in action. King working on Akoff once more on the left. Now Norte chips it towards the back post for Sabela. And a good ball through for Dietrich. Has some options, crosses to the near post, and McGrain passes his first major test. Has not been the most eventful night for Ian McGrain, who's making his Union Omaha debut. But he's somebody Coach Casciato feels is very capable of filling in whenever Rashid Nuhu isn't picked. It's the first time this season he wasn't picked for the 11, but said McGrain is a very solid goalkeeper, and we'll see that throughout the year. Milanese's early cross cleared only as far as Connor Doyle. Skeers. Laid off, pinging in across for Meza. Starting to get into more threatening positions. Waiting the final product on that header. We've talked a little bit about McGreen's pedigree. He's not necessarily played at a lot of his previous destinations. Of course, was a backup for a two-time Eastern Conference champion in Tampa Bay. Also featured decently frequently for St. Louis SC2 and MLS Next Pro last year. He's getting his first real shot at the League One level tonight. And outside of the one long ranger from Ammon, which he couldn't do much about, still awaiting a real major test. Ammon goes down and seems a little shaken up after that last challenge. Two players going for the header, and Ammon may have taken a shot to the back of his head there. Seems content to continue. Dos Santos has a hit. Got Delgado's attention there. Not much more than that. Decent half chance. Dos Santos makes the right decision. Everyone else is marked. Just unable to put it on target there. 33-year-old who's 7th all-time in USL Championship in goals. Now trying to make his trade at the League One level. Rendon looks through for Ammon. And ultimately McGreen impedes his progress. You wonder when Omaha looks to their bench, who they feel may unlock this match. There's heavy contact between Norty and Skiers. Let's take another look at this. Milanese's ball forward. The two just clatter into one another. Seems like neither committed a yellow card worthy offense, but Norty's going to receive the booking. So both Kwakwa and Norty in the book in the center of midfield for the Hailstorm.
A yellow card was issued to Hailstorm FC number 8, Norte.
And that is now official. Heel. Cleared only as far as Mastro Antonio, the Roman native. Meza slithers through traffic. And a cough. Substitute warming up is Leo Fulla for Northern Colorado. a former teammate of Ayman Zayed's at Chattanooga Red Wolves a few years back. As they look to lock up shop in this one. Here's Meza. Starting to force his way into the action a bit more. A lot of players with proven pedigree in this match. We've spoken a lot about Connor Doyle's background in the USL Championship. We've also spoken a bit about Luis Heal's MLS tenure. But Norte Norte, the man you saw booked moments ago, has his own unique story. A 28-year-old from London began his youth career in the Chelsea Youth Academy and won an FA Youth Cup in 2013. Then began to make his trade throughout the National League in England. Played for Wrexham as well in 2016-17.
Substitution. Hailstorm FC making its first change.
It was, of course, before Robin Ryan came along, but that was a side parked in the National League for years, as Leo Fola will replace Jackson Dietrich in a defensive-minded swap. First change of the night for either side. It's the 28-year-old New Yorker, Leo Fola, in his second year with the Hailstorm. It's his fourth season in a franchise with now coach Ayman Zayed. It was teammate Ayman Zayed in 2019 and 2020 with Chattanooga Red Wolves. Has to be an interesting adjustment. Looking through for Doyle. Just loses out on the byline. Los Bujos starting to creep into more intriguing positions, but have yet to really concern Lalo Delgado between the sticks. It's Fola's first substitute appearance in the last 7 matches. He had started the prior 6 in the heart of defense, but with the formation change, a new role comes. Here's Heel. Tries one, and that cross fizzes out of play for a corner. So we have our first Meadow Gold corner kick of the night. Luis Heel creates it. Decent delivery, forces Breck Evans to head it out of play. And suddenly, Los Bujos may find themselves in a little more business. Cross comes in from Doyle. Decent delivery, and Dos Santos just gets underneath it a bit much. Scotchy's Cleaners is the official uniform cleaning partner of Hailstorm FC, with 2 locations in Fort Collins and 1 right down the street from Future Legends. Scotchy's Cleaners can handle all of your dry cleaning needs. Rogers is taken down to the turf, and seems a little bit worse for wear. Tried to be closing down Joe Brito and may have taken a shot to the face in the process. And seems a bit surprised that the whistle goes against him. I'll tell you what, with the level of shock that was displayed on his face, you could nominate him for an Oscar. Ammon has him under fire, and Rogers finds Sabella. Now Meza charges ahead the other direction. Flag stays down for Dos Santos. Akoff. And the cross fizzes out of danger. Promising counter goes begging for the visitors. Once again, unable to test Lalo Delgado. You see Brito and Akoff just get hung up here. And Akoff unable to twist that cross inside. It's been a rare, quiet night for Union Omaha going forward. Still have a little over 20 minutes to change that. Here's Milanese. Long range effort from Heel. And nearly creeps that into the far post. Best chance of the match for Union Omaha, and it's nearly their magic creative piece, Louis Seal delivering. See him pick this up, creates the angle on Rogers, and I tell you what, it looked like he may have had Delgado beaten at the far post. Errant back pass finds Sabella. And Ammon unable to draw the official's whistle. Now Billy King. Looks for options. Cross is a little tight on McGrain, but took a fortunate deflection. Tell you what, one awkward bounce there, and suddenly that's in the back of the net. Miscommunication between McGrain and what looked to be Mastro Antonio. And both get off scot-free. Certainly could have broken a different direction. The Women's World Cup kicks off on July 20th. Play along with the Women's World Cup Soccer Bracket Challenge presented by USL Super League. Win cool prizes including a new 75-inch Hisense TV. The bracket launches on Monday. Go to uslsuperleague.com/bracket to learn more. Be a busy summer of soccer, of course, both USL leagues raging on. The NWSL on a brief pause for the Women's World Cup as the U.S. Women's National Team hunts a third straight Women's World Cup title. It all begins on Friday, and still time to get those bracket picks in. Game's still on a knife edge right now, despite Northern Colorado being a little more promising in attack. Omaha starting to give that back line some more to think about here in the second half. King plays it through for Oprah. And now Rendon has some space. And immediately snuffed out by Milanese. Now Rogers wins it back. Rendon twists through traffic. Here's Enoch Kwakwa. The Ghanaian. Decent delivery for King. Tries the chip, and it trickles in the back of the net. McGrain had issues dealing with it. And if it is Trevor Ammon, it's a brace. It appears Ammon got the final touch. Either way, the Hailstorm double their advantage. Good ball forward, King with the chip, and yes, it was Ammon who got the final touch over the line. The league's top scorer now with 14 on the year. And yet another brace here in 2023. The Hailstorm have taken both of their glaring opportunities. And that man, Trevor Ammon, has flashed his clinical finishing ability all night.
Goal scored in the 73rd minute.
Yet another brace for Trevor Ammon, who has scored goals in bunches since the first Omaha meeting on April 29th. That got his account open for 2023, and he's not looked back since. That kick started a run of goals in 4 straight matches. Now has 5 braces on the year. Just unbelievable production from a player who's still just 25 years of age. And now it's time for wholesale changes for Coach Casciato and company. And Shaft Brewer Jr. and Pedro Dolabella will await the referee's signal. It was the second half that Omaha started on the front foot, but couldn't find a way through that Hailstorm back line. And Trevor Ammon with a poacher's finish after Ian McGrain was drawn off his line. And suddenly a 2-goal hole for the visitors. Dos Santos looks for Meza. And Evans deals with it. confidently. Trevor Ammon now with 6 goals in his last 4 matches. That's not even his best stretch of goal-scoring form for the season. Omaha prepares 2 changes. It'll be Shaft Brewer Jr. and Pedro Dolabella entering the fray. These are 2 attack-minded changes as well. As Dion Akoff and Luis Heel will vacate.
Attention for substitution.
Akoff was probably the most lively attacking presence in that first half for Omaha. Now he's replaced by the heavily attack-minded Shaft Brewer Jr., who was a regular in the 11 until around the midway point of June. Pedro Dolabella, meanwhile, makes his first appearance in the last 3 matches. The player scored in back-to-back contests against Chattanooga and Greenville in late May. Those substitutions presented by Shift 4. So Omaha hopes those substitutions can kickstart a magical comeback. It's been 75 minutes of frustration in possession for Los Bujos tonight. Rendon loses out. And now Scarce looks forward for Meza. Takes the contact from Kwakwa, who's already on a yellow. And for now, he may be off the hook. So Brewer now with his 15th appearance of the year. Has now featured off the bench in 3 of his last 4 matches. And Kwakwa may have just been dealt that second yellow. Well, that's just what the doctor ordered if you're Union Omaha.
Hailstorm FC making its 2nd, 3rd, and 4th change. Leaving the game, number 8, Norte Norte.
And Enoch Kwak was walking off the pitch like that was a second.
And number 30, Valentin Sabella.
Confirmed, that's a second yellow for Enoch Kwakwa. It came in delayed fashion. It's certainly a decision that upsets Eamon Zayed, who's fuming on the touchline. And Northern Colorado will be forced to see this one out down to 10 men for the remaining 12 minutes and change. Eamon Zayed still pleading his case with the lead official. That second yellow came very late after the free kick was awarded. It's the first red card Northern Colorado has been dealt all season. With the exception of Lukic, which occurred in the first Omaha meeting. And now seems to be disputing the substitutions because I think he believes he wants to make a change due to the red card to Kwakwa. And it's just total sideline chaos here from the Future Legends complex. So right now, awaiting
a second yellow card,
the changes.
Resulting in a red card has been issued to Hailstorm FC number 6, Enoch Kwakwa, in the 80th minute.
And I believe Destin Normand's going to get waved back to the bench, as is potentially Stefan Lukic. And throughout all this chaos, still awaiting the free kick from Connor Doyle. Delivers to the back post for Dos Santos. Once again, his header unable to trouble Delgado. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC and the SXM app. Entering the final 10 minutes here from the Future Legends Complex in Windsor, Colorado. It was a match that it felt like Northern Colorado had wrapped up, but a second yellow card issued to Enoch Kwakwa has put the home side down to 10 men for the second time in as many meetings with Omaha this year. And they'll have to see out the 3 points a man down. The first time these two teams met, the yellow came much sooner. It came in the 15th minute, and from there it was a 3-goal onslaught that allowed Union Omaha to see the match out. This is much different circumstances here. And now the changes will come from Ayman Zayed, as it'll be a triple substitution. It'll be Norman, Lukic, and Hernandez entering the action for the Hailstorm.
A substitution correction for Hailstorm FC. Originally announced as leaving the game, number 8, Norte will remain in the match. As number 9,
Trevor Ammon will make his way off the pitch to a welcome reception from his coaches. Yet another brace has put his side in position for an 8th win in the last 11. Here is Hernandez's first touch. And it becomes a game of keep away here for the Hailstorm. Lukic will replace him. He formerly was a top prospect, was in the Partizan Academy at age 11. At one point, nearly moved to Everton in the English Premier League before that deal fell through. He's had to work his way up through the NAIA ranks at Oklahoma Wesleyan. He said those years helped him rediscover his love for soccer. He's beginning to enjoy his football with Hailstorm for the second year. Norman will replace Sabella. Hernandez also entering the fray, and Lukic up front replaces Ammon, who had yet another terrific night leading the line. Hernandez wins a set piece for the Hailstorm. Just the 2 starts for Hernandez all year. He's been a regular substitute. Has a goal and an assist to his name. Really adopted the super sub label when he was at Chattanooga in his 2 seasons there. Ball pings through. And now King darted across and narrowly outside the reach of a teammate on the doorstep. Brito draws the whistle on Norman. And a yellow shown to the substitute. Norman's 9th appearance of the year, his first booking. A former star at Denver. Was an All-Summit League second-teamer his senior year.
A yellow card has been issued to Hailstorm FC number 16, Deston.
Ayman Zayed also booked by the official. He's certainly given him an earful tonight. Can't say he hasn't felt to some degree aggrieved. There have been a lot of whistles that have gone against his side of late. And of course the second yellow certainly contentious on Kwakwa. Fola getting tended to by the physios. Was the first substitute tonight for Northern Colorado. And he will walk off on his own power. Fans, Hailstorm FC wants to thank Peak Kitchen for providing meals for the players following tonight's match. If they hold on to this result, it will be a well-earned dinner for the league leaders. And for the second consecutive match, will end the night top of the table.
Luca!
One final change for Union Omaha. Alex Steinwasher, the young
Attention
forward,
for substitution. Union Omaha
will
making
slot
its third
in
change.
place of Marco Milanese and another attack-minded swap for Coach Casciano.
Entering the game, number 44, Alex Steinwasher.
Steinwasher's first professional goal was a firecracker against Chattanooga Red Wolves earlier this year. Gave Omaha the lead in the second half in what turned out to be a 6-goal thriller. Made it most of his trade at the Division II level before playing his final season of college soccer at Xavier. Cross comes in. Ping down for Dolabella. Now Dos Santos. And Delgado covers his far post well. Another decent half chance for Omaha, and this time Delgado forced into action. In a night where his defense has done a fantastic job minimizing opportunities. Rogers now long for Hernandez. Here's Marky Hernandez. Tries one. Knuckled, but not enough dip. Good cut inside by Hernandez. Got underneath it and just didn't dip in time. Certainly had McGrain a bit wary, though. One final change for the Hailstorm. It'll be the young Trinidad and Tobago international Noah Powder.
Hailstorm FC making its 5th and final change. Leaving the game, number 19, Billy King.
Who will replace Billy King as
Noah Powder.
Coach Ayman Zayed locks up shop here tonight. The 5th appearance for Powder since joining the club in early June. Just 24 years of age, a slew of USL Championship experience under his belt already, and has a USL Championship winner's medal in his locker as well. Scored the goal that really polished things off for Real Monarchs in 2019. It's a young prodigy in League One. How about this? Made his senior international debut for Trinidad and Tobago at just 22 years of age. Eight minutes of added time here as the header comes in from Brewer. And Delgado's first major stop of the night. Long throw comes in, and a good set of flick-ons gets Brewer into a decent position, but unable to get any mustard on that header. Omaha still with time to throw a late wrinkle in the tail, but they'd have to pull one back in pretty quick fashion here. Steinwasser. Cleared only as far as Mastro Antonio. Brewer surges down the right flank. Cross finds its way into the box, and Dolabella maybe wanted a bit more on that. Certainly beginning to test Delgado more here in second half stoppage time, though. Man advantage beginning to take effect. Hernandez dances on the right flank once more. And now it becomes a tussle in the corner, and corner kick results. Well, fans, this corner kick tonight is brought to you by Meadow Gold. One of the first of this second half for Northern Colorado, as strange as that may sound. It's been a second 45 that Union Omaha has largely bossed in terms of possession. Rogers. And the Hailstorm seem content just to keep this as far away from their defensive third as humanly possible. A side that went top of the table for the first time in club history on Tuesday night. Ayman Zayed said the first player to tell the guys, look, we have a game on Saturday, was Lalo Delgado. He raves about how he's mature beyond his years. And I'm sure it'll be a similar conversation in the dressing room tonight, but one that will also be met with considerable celebration should they preserve this result. They'll go 3 points clear atop USL League One, at least for the moment. Norman chased by Steinwasser. Drawing Delgado into a bit of a foot race. Now Rogers. And the ball pings for Oprah. Brewer looks long. And we'll keep it in play. It's been that kind of night for Omaha. Every time they ventured into the final third, just lacking that final ball, that final finishing touch. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado, a pair of snapshot moments in which they were quicker to it, and a sensational strike from Trevor Ammon looks like it will make the difference in a 2-0 scoreline that probably feels like it flatters the home side, but I don't think Eamon Zayed and company will be complaining. Brewer takes the contact from Powder, and it'll be at least one more set piece before the night is done. Delivery comes in, and Mastrantonio, the culprit. That should just about wrap things up for the Hailstorm as they put themselves in prime position to take an iron grip on first place. Time for maybe one more attack for Omaha. Here's Brewer. Northern Colorado Hailstorm, 3 points clear atop the USL League One table tonight. A Trevor Ammon brace separating these two sides as the Hailstorm log a victory in a particularly cagey affair and move to 11 in a row unbeaten. A victorious night for Eamon Zayed's side at the Future Legends Complex. That man, the Golden Boot leader, the hero once again for the home side. A pair of goals on either side of intermission allows Northern Colorado to secure all 3 points for the 8th time in the last 11 games. And of course, the player of the match tonight, the play of the match presented by Meadow Gold. It's this long-range firecracker from Trevor Ammon. He picks up the loose ball, potentially takes a deflection, and launches it into the bottom right. A sensational hit from the league's top scorer, and also added another before the night was done. 2-0, the scoreline here from the Future Legends Complex in Windsor, Colorado. Northern Colorado Hailstorm now 3 points clear atop the table.
Welcome. I'm Jason Olskard. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskard team powered by C3 Real Estate Solutions.
We are proud to partner with Future Legends to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are and the exceptional value that every client will experience when working with us.
If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule a time to meet with us.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. and your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee-owned, community-minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
Wrapping things up here tonight from the Future Legends Complex, that man Trevor Ammon drawing all the headlines with yet another brace in Northern Colorado Hailstorm's 2-0 victory over Union Omaha. Let's take a look at some of the standout moments of this match. It was a cagey affair, but Trevor Ammon with two major moments to make the difference. It began in the 39th minute. Just a bit of interplay gone wrong in midfield, and Trevor Ammon pounces. Long-range effort finds its way into the bottom right corner. That opened the scoring in a half where Northern Colorado was largely frustrated going forward, but the Golden Boot leader finds a way to make an impact. And then on the other side of intermission, he continued to cause trouble. You see here before that, Dos Santos tried the long ranger, got Delgado's attention. That was one of the better chances of the match for Omaha as they continued to apply pressure going forward in search of the equalizer. Luis Heel with the best chance of the match there, but then in the 73rd minute, everything wrapped up pretty much. Billy King threw on goal, tries the chip. Ian McGrain can't capitalize on it, and Trevor Ammon just gets underneath it to knot it home and double Northern Colorado's advantage. You see McGrain just mistimes it. Ammon certainly does not. Now 14 goals on the year and 5 braces for the league's leader in goals. So that does it for the highlights. Let's take a look at the match stats. You see, possession-wise, actually bossed by Union Omaha, as did they in the shots category. Most of those came in the second half. In the second half, Omaha chasing that equalizer, boss proceedings, and Northern Colorado really just was content to sit back and counter, and it certainly paid dividends, right? The 2 shots on goal both find their way into the back of the net. I don't think they'll be complaining about the statistical disparity. The one thing that went crazy late on was the card situation. All 6 cards were issued in the second half for Northern Colorado. 2 of those went against Enoch Kwakwa, who was sent off in the 79th. Meanwhile, Union Omaha just 1 yellow on either side of the break. A much calmer display from them on the discipline front. But other than that, nothing to really show on the score sheet. That does it for our coverage from the Future Legends Complex in Windsor, Colorado. A 2-0 victory for Northern Colorado Hailstorm as they go 3 points clear atop the USL League One table. So for our tremendous crew on ESPN Plus, Sam Goldfarb here saying good night from Windsor. Have a good rest of your night, everyone. Northern Colorado notches yet another victory.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.